Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So, are we heading back to top of range, or alternatively, is this lining up for a decent break to the upside? So, there are a few things concern me on the daily of the DAX at the moment, and the first one is obviously this lower low. So, we've kind of been driven by what's happening in the US, and the US is just one-way traffic to the upside. But I think Europeans have a little bit more common sense around the market at the moment. So we are seeing sort of these days, green days rallying, but not to the degree that we're seeing it on the US markets. So from my view, this is really still in a pretty tight, tight when you compare it to the rest of the uptrend, but it's in a fairly tight trading range at the moment. Now, the big question I have is this area here at 15,483. You can see there is quite a bit of resistance to the left here. That is an area that I'm watching very closely at the moment. And then obviously we'll be paying attention to 15,800 if we do get there. So now this is a bullish pattern that you've got. You've got an inside bar with confirmation and you've closed above this previous bar. The gap is still open, so I expect that gap will close today. So if we get to the 3 hour, you'll see we are attempting to sell off levels. You can see we did attempt to sell off there. So we're at the next level, just above it is a gap. So pay, in actual fact, adjust your level to the gap. And then just look to the left to see what is close there. There is another level that we need to add, which is up here. Okay, look at the oscillators. They are starting to group to the upside. And then the other thing that you need to pay attention to, and let's just take it from here. We are at the 61.8 at the moment of this previous move. Now, if I extend this to that high, you'll see the 61.8 is right at the gap. So there's a lot going on here, and you have to pay attention to quite a few different scenarios at the moment. For me, right now, I think gap is the first thing to close. I wouldn't want to be going long with the oscillators group that high. I mean, look at that. That's pretty much 97. If you look at the value of the stochastic there, that's 97. And that's the smaller one, the slower moving one. The 95.6 is the faster moving oscillator. So with oscillators group like that on the hour, that is not an indication that's telling me I want to buy. So, the current trend may be reversing, although we are below the moving averages. So this is the interesting part for me here at 15,500. I suspect that will happen. We'll get to that today. But then it's a case of get down to your 15-minute and watch what's going to transpire. Because I would suspect some kind of price action at this level for a move down. So 15-minute trend has reversed, and you can see the crossover happened here. And we came back to test the brakes and then rallied. So kind of a tough one. I don't want to be long up here, but we need to wait and see what's going to transpire. So this is sit on hands for me for a bit. If I do see something, I'll bring it out on the Telegram channel. But first gap close, I think that's the first thing. So if you're a scalper, that's probably the first thing on offer. If we do find support at 15,500, in other words, break through and come back down, then there should be a fairly decent trade with a tight stop, and you're looking for the next level up, which is going to be 15,590. But this is what worries me. Whenever you see that kind of view, if you look there, you can see we pretty much, a bit of volatility comes in and we go crazy. And then if you look there, look how long it just went sideways and then to down. Okay, so that is something which is worrying me a little bit. So sit on hands for me at the moment, but we'll see what happens here. We should maybe get a crossover of the moving average, which would be a fairly good indication, but this could also work out to be a flag of sorts for a move to the downside. I'll wait and just see if we can see some structure before buying into this at the moment. Anyway, I hope it helps you somewhat. I know it's pretty much all over the place, but that's the nature of the beast occasionally. Anyway, enjoy the day, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.